Well, hello there, I'm Detroit. You've read the title, although I could rephrase it as the shape of the canvas is a restriction to art. So my proposition for you today is to watch me tear this rectangular piece of paper into random shapes and use it for inspiration to draw some lines. Here, I have 4 interesting shapes now, meaning 4 drawings in this video. There's also a 5th drawing, spoiler alert, because this exercise was so fun I didn't want to stop at 4. So this is paper scrap number 1. I chose the order by which piece talked to me the most, i.e. in which one I could read a shape that inspired me the most. In the first paper scrap I immediately saw a tower. I wanted to use it vertically, as it was still very close to rectangular. I mean, that's the whole point of the video, to change the shape of your canvas. I guess I haven't explained that yet. Well, might as well do it now then. It doesn't matter which medium you use, the most predominant shape for canvases, sketchbooks, pieces of paper, is always rectangular. Usually it's A4 or A3 or one of these grades. A3 is double A4, which is 21 by 29.7 centimeters. A2 is double A3, A5 is half of A4, and so on and so forth. In any case, it's a rectangle. But that's boring. I don't know who said it, but somebody once said that there was no straight line in nature. And while I don't necessarily agree, it brings forth an interesting point. Most of the things that will end up on a canvas is not canvas shaped. If you draw a mountain, you can draw it on a triangular piece of paper. If you draw a planet, why not use a paper that's already circular? Using a canvas in such a way is so ingrained in artists that we even call it landscape mode or portrait mode, depending on the orientation of the canvas, horizontal or vertical. This is why my whole idea for this drawing is to tear up a piece of paper and use the randomness of the tears to read shapes into it. So you've seen the tower, which I actually imagine as a small chariot with 2 wheels, on top of which a whole library is stacked. So it's a library tower, full of books and shelves and rolled up parchments. Now let's move on to a second drawing while I'll keep rambling about canvas shapes. In our day and age, where we have insanely powerful tools at our disposal as artists to create artworks, I'm a bit stunned by how Photoshop doesn't propose a canvas that isn't a rectangle. Or a square, but squares are just unique rectangles. So Photoshop, why isn't there an option to change the canvas to be whatever? I mean, there are ways to do that if you really want to, but it's still not the same. One possibility is to use a clipping mask and draw everything on top of it, so that only what's on the mask comes through. Another way is to color the outside of your shape the same tone as the Photoshop default background with a color picker. But when you're gonna export your finished image, we all know what's gonna happen then. You'll have a dark gray all around it. Exporting images is not the problem here though, because when you export a PNG file, it automatically keeps the transparent pixels as is, unlike JPEGs for example, which turns them into white. But again, it still doesn't meet my requirements. And if I've lost you, here's my proposal once again. The shape of the canvas is a bad influence on your art. It doesn't matter what the end result is, I want the process to change. So here are the twin faces that I've drawn on paper scrap number 2, based on the outline of the paper, which made me think of messed up profiles. Now, for my third drawing, I'm going to keep talking about canvases. I'm gonna try to keep this part short, because I don't actually like the result of the third drawing. I mean, it's a drawing, and I based it on the shape of the paper scrap, but I can see at least 7 ways I messed it up during the process. But you've already seen the blank paper earlier, so I couldn't edit this drawing out. Despite everything I've said about canvas shapes earlier, I still absolutely understand why they are all rectangular. I mean, it's a simple format, easily reproducible. When Gutenberg developed his printing press, I can't imagine it would have been simpler with anything other than rectangular material. The whole point of mass printing is that everything is the same, shape included. In our day and age, that also works with technology. You don't see a circular computer screen often now, do you? It just doesn't work that way. Books are rectangles, TV screens are rectangles. It makes sense. All picture frames are also rectangles, so that makes it easier with art. The skull is finished. Quickly, let's get to what's behind door number the next one. Now it's one I like again. Not necessarily in the execution, but rather because I really like the theme of the drawing. It's a ship. I like drawing ships, pirate ships, sails, etc. I don't know why. Back to the shapes. Before I attempted this exercise, to use paper scraps and read shapes into them, I did some preparation, some work. As often, I was scrolling through Instagram, with my account, that is at d3_sd by the way, if you want to follow me. While scrolling through the artworks and amazing paintings, I looked at the main shapes of the pictures. For example, let's talk about an unnamed jungle. Why does the jungle need to be stuck in a rectangle, a shape that doesn't mean anything to it at all? Trees can be straight, so for this example the left and right sides can be straight as well. But have you seen a canopy? Unless you're thousands of meters away, it looks nothing like flat. Instead, it's bumpy and irregular, same for the ground. And I think shaping the canvas for what you want to represent is meaningful. It shows more of the design by properly using the negative space. It's a form of art by itself, right? I'm not saying I would do that to every single one of my artworks, but I think sometimes the emphasis brought forth by the shape can be good and original. Scrap number 4, the ship, is now done. There's still one bonus drawing left, but I'm done talking for now. I don't have anything else to add to the discussion. I hope you can take away some of the points from this video. Sometimes you just have to look at your piece of paper and destroy it. It feels good, and it can help renew your art by switching from the stupid, boring, unoriginal and mainstream white rectangle in front of your face. Have fun! By the way, this drawing doesn't have a name, so maybe try commenting and get the chance of naming it for me. Subscribe, comment, like, click all the links in the description, please, it really helps me. And now I'm going to change the music and add 7 decibels to it. See you next Sunday. Bye!